Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church, located in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the 23rd Sunday after Pentecost, and this is for both the narrative lectionary and the Revised Common Lectionary, because in the Revised Common Lectionary, the first reading's out of Amos, and part of that reading is also the reading for the narrative lectionary, which has some other parts as well. I'm not using an item from the Dollar Tree this week. I'm not using any items except these two little things right here, the two hands. And the idea, when I'm reading these texts, the theme that keeps coming to mind is this idea of seeking, of watching. And so the idea I kept playing around with, or kept coming back, is this either peekaboo, how it just is a fun game, peekaboo, that's if I could speak this morning, the direction is more about hide and seek, about how when we hide, I'm going to count to 10 and then I'm going to seek, and then how we move from this point of wanting to hide or wanting to cover our face and then so we don't see what's going on, then to move into seeking, where we are seeking those who are hiding, and it's a game and it's fun. But there's this focus in these texts I see about watching and seeking, and there's wait for the Lord, but there's the seeking, watch and keep awake. And the Amos text, this idea of doing, when we've moved from a point of this to action, and we watch and we look and we act. And the question that keeps coming to my mind is that when we seek the Lord, what do we look for? Where do we look for the Lord? And more importantly, how do we look for the Lord? And I had a question that I put in here that I really liked. It's this similar. It's in what ways do we watch for the Lord? In what ways do we act when we wait for the Lord? I had... my grandmother had a game that she would play when she was waiting for somebody, and she called it her waiting game. It was really a version of solitaire. It was a card game. It was a rummy game that she would play, and she would play herself, and she called it her waiting game. And so this idea of being actively waiting, as we are moving, you could use this entire theme for your Advent as we actively wait. But these texts seem to point us in the direction of how do we wait, and how in that waiting, how and what do we do? How do we watch for the Lord? And that's, in Godly Play, we ask the questions, I wonder about this, I wonder about that. And perhaps it's just lifting up to the kids. So what are some of the ways that you watch for someone? If you're waiting for someone to come, or if you're playing hide and seek, what are the places that you normally look to find somebody? And then where else would you look? Let's say we're playing hide and seek in the church. Where are some of the places that you would look? And getting them to think about how we watch and how we look for the Lord. Perhaps we see Jesus, or more specifically, we see Jesus in the hungry. We see Jesus in those who are lonely, those people who are sick. Ways and in whom do we see the Lord? So, I think you see the point of where I'm going on this, and maybe I'm hoping that it can be a springboard for your own thinking. But this idea of hide and seek, where we count, but yet we can't stay like this. We need to move into the idea of action and walking and looking for the Lord. So there you are. Hope it can be a springboard for your own thinking. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have one fantastic week.